What's going on, y'all? What's up? This is the Black Way Podcast. I am your host, Brandy. And today we got a special guest, the CEO and founder of Linguistic Notation, Joshua
Yes, sir.
Crumedy. Introduce
Yes, sir.
yourself, man. Tell the people who you are and how they can find you.
Oh man, how y'all doing out there? It's Joshua Crumedy, linguistic notation, brands of expression where the knowledge exudes the fashion. Open the door. Yes, pretty much. That's
Okay.
me there in the flesh, in the flash. Sorry about the darkness there. Trying to
He's
transitioning to get
transitioning.
to the field.
Yeah. Y'all bear with him. Bear with me. Bear with
Bear,
us.
bear with
Yeah.
me.
Sorry for that. So my first question I want to ask is, what is linguistic notation? How did you come up with the name, the logo? Like, give us a breakdown of what the brand is.
So linguistic notation, the brands of expression where the knowledge exudes the fashion. So we talking just the word linguistic, master of words. And so everybody is a master of their own words, right? They
Right.
like to say a lot of stuff, phrases, little small words that catch people attention. So with that being said, since we have a lot of words we like to say, you don't remember it all.
Yeah.
So you need to write it down,
Yeah.
put it on a pad. So I said, okay, if I'm gonna be a master of my words and I won't be able to remember everything, I'm just gonna go ahead and write it down. So now I have linguistic notation. And
Okay.
so when I thought about that, I said, well, if you have linguistic notation, why couldn't I add like a model to it, the brands of expression,
Yeah.
because it is a brand that shows expression. And then it's where the knowledge exudes the fashion. So the brand is about education, period,
Okay.
across the board. It's all about education. It's about pushing, learning new things, new new languages, and so
Yeah.
just kind of want to go back a little bit. You had asked me, when did it start? When did
Yes.
the brand start? So the brand started back in like 2009.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Long
been around
time.
for a minute, but
Yeah.
the transition of really just trying to curtail this thing, right? And
Right.
so me and my brother were at our mom's house, and he's like, "Hey, man, I think we need to come up with something that's gonna make some passive income, right?" So I was like, "Okay, cool. What can we do?" He said, "What about a clothing brand?" I was like, "Clothing brand, okay." He said, "What would we name it?" He said, "What about linguistic?" I was like, "Oh man, hold on." That's
You
that
wasn't
sound
really
like
feeling that.
no. I would. I was like, I like the word because
Yeah.
I'm a wordy guy. Period. I am, and
Okay.
it's just when he said linguistic, I was like, hold on, man, I don't know what that means. Let me go look it up. So
Yeah.
I went to look it up, and I found that it meant like master of words, a
Okay.
wordy person, right? So I'm like, okay, I can see that for me because I like using some 25-cent words every now and then.
There
Maybe
you
chop it
go.
down to 10-cent words. Come on now, sound educated just a little bit.
Right,
Building my
right. You
vocabulary.
gotta, yeah.
And so with that being said, I said, okay, linguistic notation. He was like, yeah, I like that. So we just we started it back in 2009. I had got about 24 shirts made,
Okay.
and everything that sold was sold through the family.
Okay.
They were just buying the shirts because
Yeah.
they was like, oh, we're gonna support you. They would just, let me get a shirt. I'm gonna support you.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, that's
actually.
good to have too. I get
Oh
I get
yeah,
what you're saying, but that is good to have. Yeah.
it is good to have. So they supported me. They bought all 24 shirts, and
Shout out to the
we
family.
went forward. So fast forward, when the COVID hit, so 2009 and 10, all that, I
Yeah.
just kind of just
10 years later.
stayed to myself with the brand. It
Okay.
was really going nowhere. It was just kind of there. I had my
Right.
DBA and all of that. I worked on getting it all for the brand. But when COVID hit, and I saw everybody was on TikTok and Instagram, and they was pushing their brands, and I'm like, nothing against nobody else's brand, do your own thing, but when when I saw what they had, I was like, I got a lot more to offer than
Yeah.
what they have, and I feel that the brand can really push. So
Yeah.
I was like, let
Absolutely.
me get out here because the brand has meaning behind it. It's just
Yeah.
not like a fly by night type of brand. It really has some meaning. You know,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. That is a deep meaning behind that, I must say.
Yeah,
That is.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes. So, you know, with that being said, you know, we kickstarted it. It was going. The shirts sold, and you know, COVID came, and so I was like, man, I have to find out how can I push the brand and get it out there. So I was struggling. I didn't know anything about it.
It's hard, man.
Nobody
It's
wanted to give me no
hard.
information. And
Yeah, nobody's gonna give
I
you the
was
plugs. Nobody gonna tell you where to
no,
go to the
no,
cheapest, you know,
the,
cotton person.
yeah,
Nobody's gonna tell you who print logos on shirts for cheap. You got to go out there and find that stuff. It's
you gotta go out
hard.
there and find it.
I'm speaking from experience.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, without a doubt. And so just just being a black entrepreneur, I have ran across just everybody from every type of nationality. They have
Yeah,
saw the brand and they are very inquisitive about the brand.
yeah,
But when I began to explain to them about the brand, it was kind of like, oh, okay, okay. So I had to find a way to shorten it up, or
yeah.
if they were looking for it, it's like linguistic note. It was too difficult for them to say all that. So
Right.
that's why I have L.Notation. So
Okay.
let's shorten it up. Something quick where people can go to the internet, type it in,
So is that
lnotation.com.
what you go by now for the brand? L.Notation?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I
L.Notation.
didn't know
So
that. L.Notation. Y'all hear that?
L.Notation.
L.Notation. Okay.
Yes, L.Notation. So it's still linguistic notation,
Right.
but I want to shorten it up so that people can just get straight to if they try to go on the website to purchase and things like that. So they're like,
Got
oh
you.
man, you heard of, linguistic notation. If they can't even say that, hey, L.Notation, go check it out. Boom. It's
Yeah.
easy.
So is
So
that how you got the difference in the logo that you're wearing right now on your hat and shirt plus the bear logo? Is that where you got that from? You want to
yes,
shorten? Okay.
yes, so this logo here, I just came up with this logo about maybe a month ago, maybe
Okay.
something like that. I was like, just make it simple, man. Just use the two letters, but
Yeah.
go back and maybe change the style or the fun of it,
Yeah.
and see if it catches people's attention. And it has. It caught a lot of people's attention. They like, man, I like that. You're onto something with what
Yeah.
you have now. You know,
And you switched it
the
up quite a bit. Like in your
yes.
you switch it up.
I
Yeah.
was Brandy. I was trying to find my way. I was trying to find my way. I was
Hey,
out there
look,
swimming in the
I'm glad
water.
you found your way because I was putting together a clothing brand myself, and I said
Okay.
it's just not for me. It's not for me. Like
Yeah.
I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to my craft. It's something about the logo I just couldn't get with. So I was like, you
Wow.
know what? Let me focus on something else, and maybe one day it'll come back to me. But today is just not that day. And I
And
shelved it ever since. That's why I said I know it's hard. Like I got the DBA, I set up the business account, I did everything. I got the logo trademarked and everything. I did all of that.
wow.
But when it comes to putting it out there to sell, and I tested it a little bit to kind of see people reactions, I say, man, I don't even like it, so I know they don't like it. Like it's just something missing.
Yeah. And,
Something missing.
and that's true. So with me, like this brand, it will it would have the basics, but it
Okay.
will forever be like different. Like I'm getting ready now to push out a collection for February for Valentine's.
Okay.
The It's gonna be the France Paris collection.
Okay.
So that's getting ready to come out. I'm gonna drop it probably within maybe three days. It's gonna hit.
Okay.
It's gonna get done. So it's coming. So
It's
everybody
coming.
stay tuned to that.
Yeah.
Yes,
So you
stay tuned
touched
to
up a
that.
little bit on how you got started. I want to know like how difficult was the startup process? Because I just told you what I went through and it
Yeah.
literally made me say forget it. So, but your startup process obviously started in '09 and you're still going to now. So how was the startup process itself? Funding, finding the right vendor, building the website. How was that process?
when I tell you, it was a struggle. It still is a struggle, but it's a whole lot smoother. So the
Yeah.
startup, I found a vendor who could get the clothes for me and everything, but the pricing was a little bit far-fetched.
Yeah.
So you're talking 24 shirts, $600, $700. And I'm like, okay, now I got to make sure that I have my gross margin return on investment. So when I send that money, when I sell a shirt, I got to get back what I put into it and plus more. So it got to go back to the inventory. So it was a struggle at the start. But my heart and my drive for the brand, because I can see the vision. I know where I want to go with it. I'm struggling to get there because of resources and people to actually latch on to the idea of the brand. And that's what I'm facing now, allowing people to see what the brand is. So people want to know your backstory, how you come up with it. What is it about? What's the truth really to the brand? Why are you doing linguistic notation? Why should I purchase from you? So you just be honest and you tell them, hey, linguistic, if you're a person who loves education, you love jazz, you love classical, you love poetry, that's what the brand is. Poetry, classical music, jazz music, written word, that's what the brand is about. Educating yourself. And then also too, Professor L.N., he's going to go on world tours. So every time I put out a different shirt or a collection, he's going to be in another country, another city, and whatever that city is going on.
Okay.
Whatever that city has going on at the time, that language that they speak over there, because linguistic notation is about culture too. So we're all around. You're gonna learn with this brand. It's just not I got this brand on, check me out, look at me. No, you're educating yourself and the one who's looking at you.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. So it's not just it's a very thought out intellectual type brand versus you just coming up with some logo, slapping it on a t-shirt and say, here, buy it, support me. It's not like it's more than a money grab to you, basically. Like it means something to you.
The startup was deal with the funding, and that's why I kind of slowed down after 2009, because I was like, man, $600 for 24 shirts.
That's a lot.
I don't have no money like that.
Yeah,
I don't have no money like that. I'm bringing it in. So the startup process, like I said, was and it still is as of today. The drive that I have for the brand, I'm gonna keep pushing. Keep things out and see what captures the audience attention. The 600 artist for 24 shirts. I was like, I can't do 24. I can't do $600 because I wasn't making, good money at that time. So now, I have to go to the drawing board, write it out like, hey, I'm gonna buy X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna promote it, show it, see if people like it, and then I get 1 or 2, 3, 4 buys. Then I may buy like a set of it, and then just push it out from there.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of my questions actually was like, as far as selling wise, is it easier to set up a website when you getting started, or should they contact you directly and order that way? Because I know they have like these Shopify type stores where you can set the inventory, how many you have, which is like, what do you prefer?
To have a website or just come to me directly? I would say go to the website. But as of right now, the website is up under construction because I'm refacing the whole website. And I wanted to, like I was mentioning earlier, I want it to curtail my demeanor. Right. So when you see me, you see the brand. Like, okay, I know he's linguistic notation. Like I know he's a part of linguistic notation. Right. So I don't want to have so many different. What I want to say, so many different
Like different
characters.
versions. Got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, personalities. So when you look at like, okay, you got streetwear, then you have workout wear, and then
Mm,
you classic over here with suit and tie. Like,
yeah.
what is the basis of the brand? So
Right.
I want people to see that this is the brand regardless of anything. This is
Right.
the
So you
bottom.
trying to get it basically uniformed to say this is the
Yes,
brand, no
this is
matter
the
if
brand.
it's a sports bra or a two piece or a hoodie or a hat. This is the brand.
That's right.
There we
That's right.
go.
And also too, I just want to throw this disclaimer out there. So a lot of people do a lot of things with their brand. One thing that I'm not going to do for the brand is like add. You won't see skulls on my brand. You won't see any anything like that. It's
Okay.
gonna be some learning educational stuff.
Yeah.
So you either like the brand or you don't like
You
the
either with
brand.
it or you against
You
it.
either
You
with
either
it or
like
you
it or
against
you
it, like you
don't.
said. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm more on the educational side because I think, why walk around and waste brain matter, because your brain does matter. So, don't waste brain matter, man.
Don't waste brain matter. Okay.
Don't waste brain matter. And I tell them, hey man, what are you doing with your ticks? The clock ticks the clock. So
Yeah.
make the ticks work for you. Go out there
Right.
and learn something for sure.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
that's the brand. That's the brand regardless. It's
Okay.
just
Okay.
educating, innovation, growing, exuding through it all.
Okay. I
So
like
we can
that.
be a better people.
Yeah. Hey, a rebrand is always important. I love to see people rebrand and always come out with something better. I mean, not even Polo looks the same. They had to rebrand. Ralph Lauren. Look at the Breakfast Club and how long they had. They had to rebrand and get a new studio and get a new logo. Rebranding is really a part of owning and running a brand. It's not going to always look the
Yes,
same.
it is.
So I totally understand that. This is a good question because you're showing this right now. But how do you balance your work life balance? You know, you have a job. You running a clothing brand. You do a little acting. He ain't gonna say it, but I am. He do a little acting on the side. This is a good question because you're riding and you're still doing this interview. So how do you balance everything going on around you?
So what I say, I'm very organized. I like to be organized. If it's not organized, it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
So I try to say I take out an hour a day for my brand. So 1 hour a day, I'm working something towards the brand. Just
Yeah.
give it all my attention. And
I
then
like
for
that.
work,
I like
I'm at
that.
work. You work 8 hours a day, but
Yeah.
every day I give my brand at least an hour,
Okay.
at least of working,
I like
just
that.
maybe brainstorming on something new,
Yeah.
maybe a phrase I can jot down and be like, oh man, that'd be nice to put on a shirt,
Yeah.
and then come back with just the
Design.
logo on
So
the front
it don't
side.
matter what it is within that hour, whatever you're doing for that hour is going towards your brand.
It's going towards the brand. If it's even maybe just reaching out and listening to a lot of motivational speakers, maybe
Yeah.
just connecting with some people that said, hey man, I was just thinking about you, my brother, and I wanted to call you and tell you I had an idea about the brand. So I take that. I listen. Hey, what's your idea about the brand? Okay. So I
Yeah.
jot it down and then format it in my own way of maybe putting it together and
And
go from
gotta
there.
take that knowledge and go with it.
Take that
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Take
I
that
try
knowledge.
when people are giving me feedback and critiques, I try not to take it personal because I know they only trying to help. So hey, all feedback is welcome on my end.
Yes, it is. And a lot of people see something that can potentially increase the brand. So
Yeah.
take it in, write it
Okay.
down, and then go back at it at a later date, and just kind of roll it in your mind. And
Yeah.
it may make sense later, because at that moment you're thinking, oh man, this is how I want to run it. But
Yeah.
you got to think about the audience that is looking from the outside in, and you
Right.
looking from the inside out.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like it's tough because I mean I work from home, but I still want to get stuff done that I want to do. For me, my 9 to 5, that's not my end goal to retire with that company. This is, the brand, the platform. So I like to set aside some time as well to, jot down some things, journal some things, kind of manifest some things, and reach out to people to see if I can get a guest to come on. So I understand the balance ain't easy, but we make it work. We
and
make it.
and taking my hat off again to you again for doing this podcast. Like, I believe this podcast is gonna go far. You're gonna get some big time people on this thing soon.
That's the goal. That's the goal,
Yes,
man. Some of these
big
big
time
time
people.
people that had these big time booking fees will be getting it going. But talk about like how you said your 24 shirts was $600. I felt your pain
Yeah.
because 30 minutes
Ooh.
somebody could charge me $600 too, and it's like, hold on now,
Right,
hold
right,
on now,
right. So,
that ain't in the budget yet.
and
What are some
the
say that
money,
again?
Brandy. Um, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the
No, go
money
ahead.
that came in for the 600 for the shirts, it actually came from my brother, who he and I was sitting in the living room of our mom's home, and we were pondering. He was like, "Hey man, I'll foot the 600, whatever the bill is. We'll get the shirts." He was excited to push the brand right now.
Yeah.
So, just to give you a little tidbit, and the world as well, we reconnected to redesign the brand. So he
Okay.
saw this that I came up with. He's like, "I like that. I think we got something. This gonna really push." So we back in the lab, jotting
That's
stuff
what's up.
down, coming up with
Shout out
some
to the
new
brother.
innovative things.
There we
Yes,
go.
shout out to them.
So I want to ask you while we're on tips and things, what are some tips you can give to up and coming designers, um, like how to get started or the best route to take? Just some tips that even you learn along your journey.
So, a couple of things I would tell the new and upcoming clothing brand personnel: look, take it slow. Don't rush the process. Make sure you think it through. Make sure every idea that comes to you, write it down, and
Okay.
then make it make sense to you. Because if it doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't make sense to anybody else out there. So
Bingo.
at
That's
least make
absolutely
it make
true.
sense. Reach out to, listen to people of how they formatted their brand. For surely you got to, get a DBA, lock that name in. If that name is going to be what you're going to use for your brand, lock it in. Next, I wouldn't say go buy a bulk of clothes. Maybe go get one or two pieces. Maybe get some a local manufacturer to print the design up, and then take a picture in it. Just don't say you're selling it. Just take a picture in it and see how
Yeah.
many likes you get, or how many people compliment you on it. Just
Yeah.
go walk through the mall. And you are the walking brand of your brand, if that makes sense. You're the walking brand of a brand.
Absolutely.
So
You the
never
face
stop
of
wearing
it.
your brand.
Never
Yeah,
stop. Never
never
stop.
stop wearing your
It's
brand.
everywhere.
Because think about it like this: if Starbucks would have stopped after those 2,000 times they went after to try to become who they are right now, Starbucks would have never have chains all around the world. It's You got to keep pushing, even though one person may not see your vision. Somebody out there is going to catch on, and they're going to say, I feel what you're trying to convey with your brand, and I want to latch on to this. I like
Yeah.
that, and a
Yeah.
lot of
They're
people
gonna be
like that
more
stuff.
willing
So,
and open to support once they see you do that.
yes, that is so true. That is so true. But yes, for the up and coming entrepreneurs in clothing, take your time. Don't rush it.
I
And
think that's where I went wrong. I was rushing. I wanted to get everything done in one. I'm telling you, I was at the bank. I was at the county annex office. I
yeah,
was there all every day. I was trying to do something. I'm like, man, can y'all hurry up and get these out? Like, I should
wow,
have took my time. That's probably my biggest where I went wrong is I was moving too fast. I wasn't
And to,
taking out the time to actually sit down and look at what I'm doing, or sit down and come up with a well thought out business plan instead of just jumping right into it. That's what I'll say. Come up with a business plan. Write down your budget, write down your goals, come up with a business plan, because without that, you probably won't get far.
that is so true. Know how much you want to invest in your brand,
Absolutely.
and stick to it. Say, hey,
To
I'm
it.
right now this month I'm gonna invest $500 towards the brand,
Yeah.
and make sure that it's you know this acronym. Make sure it's SMART. Make
Yeah.
sure it's simple, measurable, achievable, realistic and timely. You have to make sure you put all that in perspective. Don't go out here and buy 500 pieces and slap
Yeah.
something on and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go out here and sell this."
Yeah. It ain't
Everybody
gonna
might
work
not
like
like
that.
it.
It's not gonna
They
work
might
like
like,
that. Yeah.
color coordination is important. Color
Yeah.
coordination is important, and different ways of styling things on clothes, the lettering, all that makes a difference. So,
Marketing and
you know,
promo is key too. Marketing and promo. You gotta put the stuff out there. You got to.
you have
Yeah.
to. You really,
That's
really
key.
have to. That
You
is
like
key.
literally
So,
you are the brand. Like I don't do a show without my shirt on.
come
I
on
don't
now.
do I don't do a show without it. Like y'all have to
Yes,
know who I am. Y'all gonna see it everywhere.
see it everywhere.
And
And
lately now when I start when I've been traveling, I have sweatshirts too. I wear it to the airport and stuff. I have people like, hey, is that you on your shirt? Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and check it out? you know?
so 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 here it is, Brandy. Check it out. The clothing brand. You got it. It's right there. I
Yeah,
would rock one of those sweaters or those shirts because okay, you have your podcast, but it's your brand. It's you.
it's
You
me.
know, so
Yeah.
everywhere you go, you look like a walking billboard. Hey, what's that shirt? Oh, that's my
Yeah.
podcast. Oh yeah. Hey, can I get one of those shirts? They would be more intuitive to want to get the shirt and
Yeah.
then check out the podcast because
Exactly.
you're promoting you through your book. So I like it. I like
Yeah.
it.
Next, I'm gonna put
Yeah.
a little QR code on the back. You just scan it with your phone and just keep going. Don't ask me no question. Just scan and go.
Come on, man.
That's
Innovative. I like
next.
that.
Yeah.
I might need
But
to premiere QR code on the
yeah,
back of
put a
mine.
QR code so it goes straight to the website. Y'all don't even gotta talk to me. Just
Yeah.
scan that code and you'll be all right.
Not even gotta talk to me. Come on now.
Hey,
Yes.
yeah.
But yeah, the new up and coming entrepreneurs, take your time. Number one thing that I would say, number one thing over anything, don't give up. Because you're
There
gonna
we
have a
go.
lot of times where people say, I don't like the brand, I don't like what you got, I'm not buying what you got.
And
You
that's
know,
okay.
you,
Everybody not
you
gonna like
wear
it.
you wear the brand in regardless of whatever is said. Just you
Yeah.
wear it every day. They're
Very
like, man,
cute.
every time I see you, you in this brand. Yes, it's mine. I'm
Yep.
wearing it. And
Yeah. They gonna
I'm
see it
wearing
so
it. It's
much, they gonna
mine.
start asking you, how can I get one? That's
How can
now
I
you
get
want
one, man?
one.
I want to
Yeah.
support, man. Because then they see that you're actually serious about it. It's not a game. It's not, oh, you got that little clothing brand going. It's not a little clothing brand.
Right.
It is
Not.
a multi-million-dollar clothing brand that's coming up. Watch it. It's gonna come up. It's gonna
It's
blow your
coming.
socks off. So
It's coming. And
it's
speaking
coming.
of that, it's coming, multi-million dollars. Last question to wrap things up.
Yes, ma'am.
How can you take your brand to the next level and where can you see it within the next 7 to 10 years?
7 to 10 years, I'm telling you, this thing is gonna be big. I'm saying that it's gonna be in your local Target stores.
Okay. So you want to go commercial with it. You want to
Yeah,
have it
it's gonna
in
be
store.
commercial
Okay.
everywhere.
Okay.
And it's not just t-shirts, hats, socks. We talking linguistic notation is anything, stickers, mugs,
Yeah, I saw the
like
mug. Yeah.
gloves. It's there. Anything
Yeah.
like how like Nike puts their logo on any and everything. They in the NFL on jerseys. So I want it to be like that, like an
Yeah.
NFT.
Are you
Put the
against getting a storefront like for yourself? Would you go that route?
yes, storefront for sure.
Yeah.
So no limits are cut off on my end. We're just trying to maximize. We're gonna maximize as much as we can. And the key goal for me is never stop talking. never stop talking to people. When I see them, hey, how you doing? Introduce myself, let them know who I am, let them know about the brand. It's going
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
catchy. Keep
Networking is
going.
going to get you very far. In this business, you have to network. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, is there any special announcements you have regarding your clothing brand? Any up and coming projects? Like I told you at the beginning, he not gonna say it, but he act on the side. That's how we met through acting class. You got any projects coming up as far as the acting side, man? Tell people just any special announcements and how they can find you on social media.
Got a couple of things up my sleeve. If you
Okay.
want to look and find me on social media, it's linguistic underscore notation. That's my
It's been
Instagram.
in this it's been scrolling at the bottom of the screen this whole episode, so
Yes,
y'all don't have no
yes,
excuse.
yes,
It's
yes.
at the bottom.
No excuse.
Follow his
Go check it
Instagram. No
out.
excuse.
Yes.
I'm
And the
sorry. Go
website
ahead.
is still, no, it's good. It's good. The website is still under construction because I'm refacing it, but go by and check it out. I do have some items on there. It's www.lnotation.com.
Okay.
It's www.lnotation.com.
Okay.
So just keeping it simple. Check it out. I do have some polos on there. I have some tees and stuff like that. Um, I didn't mention this though, Brandy. I wanted to throw this out here before
Go
we
ahead.
before
Yeah.
we so the Professor L.N., he's a traveler, he's a professor, he carries a duffel bag, and the reason why because he takes all of what he learned and put it in the bag, and then he comes back and reteaches it.
Okay.
He wears purple glasses because purple for me is royalty. He has a purple handkerchief because if he sweat, I'm wiping my face with royalty, cleaning up with royalty, right? So
Okay.
everything has a significance behind it. And that's just kind of like where we're at. So when you see Professor LN or you see the LN logo, it's about being classic. It's about being innovative, education, going to the next level, and increasing the woman from yesterday to today to be smarter than they was.
I like that. I really like that. It's not too often that you come across up and coming designers or designers that are already out there whose brand has a very deep intellectual meaning behind it. Like I said, it's very thought out. I would have never thought to name anything linguistic to start there. But like you said, you're a wordsmith, so it's very on brand for you. So you did what worked for you, and hats off to you,
See,
man. Wish you nothing but major success for the brand. I know, like you said, it's gonna be in stores,
gonna
multi-million
be in
dollars.
school.
You're gonna have your own storefront, and we're gonna see it everywhere. We're gonna
That's
see
right.
it.
Billboard. You gotta check me out
Billboard,
on
look,
Billboard.
everything. Shoot,
Everything. They're gonna be like,
everything.
man, linguistic notation is everywhere. Yep, it is.
Everywhere. We're gonna be saying that. But man, y'all make sure y'all go follow him on social media. It's right there at the bottom. www.lnotation.com, right?
Yes, that's
All
correct.
right.
Yes.
Under construction, but y'all write that down. I'll put it in the description as well. Thank you again for coming on and
No
telling us
problem.
about your brand, repping your brand, and giving some advice to the up and coming designers because I know they could use some free game.
Yes,
They
yes.
could
I
use that.
appreciate it. Thank you for having me
Absolutely.
on the show.
Absolutely.
I look forward to coming back to the show when I have some more stuff to present to the people.
Yeah.
But up
Yeah,
and
we
coming,
could bring the whole
person,
setup. Yeah.
you
Put some
already
shirts
know.
on, put some hats on display, all that.
Yeah, yes.
Well,
Make
thank
sure
y'all
it's
for
all
tuning in. This
yes.
is the Black Way. I am your host, Brandy. You can follow me acting like Brandy on Instagram for more updates. You can also shoot me an email, brandy at theblackwaypodcast.com if you got topic suggestions or if you want to be on the show. I'm always looking for somebody to be on the show. So that being said, thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all back for the next episode. Peace out.
Peace out.